To stand by and bring into the discussion Wisconsin Congressman Mark Pocan. Sir, this fight is personal for you. You've been the victim, as I understand it, of gay bashing, which spurred you into activism. You're now one of two openly gay members of Congress from the state of Wisconsin, along with Senator Tammy Baldwin, and you and your partner married in Canada, but that marriage is not recognized back here in the state, certainly not in the state where you reside. So what does this fight mean for you personally, especially as professionally you walk the halls of Congress?
Sure. Well, anything that is about equal treatment is important to me, but it's especially important, obviously, because I'm living it. As someone who's been married for 6.5 years, we had to go to Canada to get married. And even in the halls of Congress, my spouse doesn't have a spouse ID. They have a designee ID. He's my designee in the eyes of Congress. And I think we need to move towards that full step of equality, and I think that's why it's so important what the courts are looking at right now, because equal treatment under the law is exactly what the two cases that they're going to be hearing today and tomorrow are about. And if we're going to have full equality for every citizen, we certainly have to have it in marriage.
Congressman, you were one of over 200 members of Congress to sign a brief calling for DOMA to be overturned. DOMA going to be heard tomorrow. A number of lawmakers have also voiced their support for marriage equality in recent days. This week alone, we have Senators Claire McCaskill, John Warner, Mark Begich coming out for it in support of it. Yet only 2 Republicans in the House and 1 Republican in the Senate have done the same, despite the fact, though, that over 130 other Republicans, they've signed this amicus brief doing so. If the Supreme Court upholds Prop 8, do you think that that takes the heat off the GOP on this?
No, because, this is an issue where the public is so far ahead of where elected leaders are. We just saw 58% nationally, but if you look at that 18 to 29 demographic, 81% of people support marriage equality. The country is so far ahead of elected leaders. The fact that we have elected leaders now recognizing and talking about it is simply a statement that they're hearing from their constituents, that people want equal treatment under the law, and that my marriage is as valid as anyone else's marriage. And if we have that, we're really respecting the institution of marriage. I think that's the message that resonates, and I think you're going to see more and more Republicans, elected official Republicans, recognizing that, because certainly the public has.
You make a great point about the millennials being well ahead of other generations. Sir, I do want to ask you, there are elected leaders in D.C. who have public secrets. Basically, they are closeted gay and lesbian elected leaders. How dangerous are homophobic elected leaders who happen to be closeted? How dangerous are they to the equality process?
Well, yeah, I'm not so worried about who's dangerous. I'm worried about who wants to be inclusive. And as I talk to members from both sides of the aisle, and they get a chance to know me, and I'm new, I've been there 12 weeks, but when they find out that I'm married, happily married for 6.5 years, talk about what my marriage is like, which is so much like their marriage, I just want to find those new allies that want to work towards equal treatment. I'm not going to think about the negative or going backwards. I want to move forward, and the best thing I can do is reach out to both Democrats and Republicans who recognize that when they get a chance to know someone, my marriage isn't any different than theirs. In fact, we're together for 6.5 years. A lot of people, elected officials, don't have that long of a record. That it really is something of value. Society, it's good for society, and I think we're just trying to change the hearts and minds of those who really want to move towards full equality, and I think there's a lot more people who eventually will be doing that.